Hello and welcome to the KCGN podcast. I'm your host Daniel with my co-host
Jeff Whedon, and we have some video games to talk about tonight as we usually do. Starting off with the Doom Alpha, which Dan and I both got accepted into. Can't really say much about it though. There's a non-disclosure agreement in place there. But Dan, you got into the Alpha on PC and PlayStation 4, I believe? Right?
Yeah, the whole deal was like I got from PlayStation. They sent through PS4 that I was accepted in the closed alpha, but I couldn't. There was nowhere to download it when the time came, and other people are having the same problem right now. And they're working on it though. They've acknowledged
that's good
that it's happening. But I did sign up. You could sign. I think you can still sign up for the PS4 and Xbox One versions right now. The Steam one's gone.
Yes.
And I got into the Steam PC one, so I've played it. Can't say anything about it, unfortunately. And they also have it so where they like put watermark on your.
Yeah.
Or it's weird.
So
yeah, with can't wait for the game. So
yeah, I got into the PlayStation 4 version's closed beta or alpha. So I haven't gotten it downloaded yet, so I'm looking forward to trying it. But it looks like since you will, they presumably will fix it. It looks like we will be able to play together at some point in time. So looking forward to that. Like I said, haven't played it yet, so I don't know if it has matchmaking or not. We can't say. Neither confirm nor deny. So, but what we can talk about is our first impressions on the big music game franchises that made some pretty big comebacks this year. Guitar Hero Live and Rock Band 4. So Dan, you got Guitar Hero Live on Wii U. I got it on Wii U as well, and I also got Rock Band 4 for PlayStation 4. So
yeah,
we've had some time to play both of these games quite a bit, and I think we've kind of formulated a first impressions type kind of thoughts on them. So starting with Guitar Hero, Dan, I think it's really innovative what they've done with it. They've, kind of taken the Guitar Hero gameplay and they've managed to make it feel fresh, new, and unique with that new guitar controller, which has, instead of having the 5 buttons like on the Rock Band controller and previous Guitar Hero controllers, they instead have 2 rows of 3 buttons. So it ends up feeling very unique and, in a way, a little more realistic. What are your thoughts on the new controller?
It's okay. Well, I had an issue here. After like about the second day of playing, I'd played a few hours, at least 5+ hours or so.
Right.
I noticed the button, one of the fret buttons. At the bottom, like I press it near the bottom of the fret button, it would give resistance and be kind of mushy, and it wouldn't. So it'd make it impossible.
Yeah.
To do certain songs. It's like impossible.
Yeah.
I had to take it back, swapped it for a new one. So far, so good. But this has been a pretty big problem across the board with these controllers.
I also had to go and I had my USB dongle, I believe, was this, at least as far as I could tell, because I took my guitar to someone else's house and tried it there, because the guitar controllers themselves are actually universal. They work between all versions. The USB dongles that you use to connect them to your system, however, are not. Yeah,
unless it's PS3 through Wii and Wii U share the same dongle.
PS3 and Wii U use the same dongle. So I believe my dongle was defective.
Dongle.
So, it's just such a silly word. Anyways, I feel like my dongle was defective. See, this is going to be a fun conversation.
Dongle was defective.
This is going to be a fun conversation. So, anyways, because I tried my guitar controller at a friend's house on his PlayStation 4, and everything connected fine and everything worked fine. Because what was happening with my Wii U version was I would connect my guitar and it would activate and everything, and the fret buttons just would not function. The game would not receive any data from the guitar regarding the fret buttons. Only the main body of the guitar, so like the strum bar and the TV button and everything, all that. So I returned it, got it exchanged for a new copy without any issues, and it seems to be working fine so far.
And we got it for $60 at Target on Black Friday.
Black Friday, yeah,
weekend.
Good deal.
Which I would not have paid $100.
But we
found
found out.
Controller.
We found out because we were actually kind of surprised to find this out. There's actually an iOS version of it available on store shelves. It comes with the guitar controller, just like any other version. And
it was like the mobile version. Was it only iOS or was it also Android?
Only iOS. There's no Android version to my knowledge. But I thought that was interesting. I did not know that they had
you can connect it to a TV screen and it'll be the same thing. Thing. So I mean, I'm pretty sure an Apple iPhone, iPad can play that perfectly because the game is not demanding.
It's just a bunch of. What I think is really cool actually is they have live action video in the background now instead of like real time rendered stuff.
Which I have mixed feelings on because I miss the old graphics style.
Yeah,
and it makes me want to play it.
They kind of lost that graphic style as they went on, though. Like with the other Guitar Hero games, they tried to start making it look more realistic. Whereas I remember I was watching a documentary video about the original Guitar Hero, and they said their cardinal rule when it came to environmental design was, okay, no 90-degree corners. This needs to be as like outlandish and over the top looking as possible. We can have no 90-degree corners. And then you have this Guitar Hero 5 venue that is like all 90-degree corners. So at that point, they've just completely lost touch of what the original design philosophy was visually for the series. And it's just sad to see that kind of thing happen.
See, with Guitar Hero Live, I have pretty mixed feelings about the whole thing. And what the TV aspect, I think, is very unique, very cool. But the problem is that I've noticed that the songs they didn't really do it. Like, how, like, the drum is on a separate track?
Oh, yeah, it just kind of gets quieter.
It's not a true...
Yeah.
It's not a true... Like, the songs on the actual disc?
Yeah.
Or whatever, they
don't have the guitar track separated.
It doesn't feel right, doesn't sound right.
Right.
And it feels lower quality, and it takes away from it to me. Like,
For me, I haven't really noticed it.
Because especially when you, like, try to, like, whammy bar it...
Mm-hmm. It does more like a wah-wah effect.
It's like trying to take an MP3, and that's all they're doing.
For our listeners who are not familiar with how Guitar Hero Live's TV function works, is the game is basically split up into two different modes. There's Live and there's TV. Live is the main single-player mode where you play from a first-person perspective of the guitarist in front of a huge audience, and depending on how good or bad you're doing, the audience actually reacts differently, which I think is really cool. The full-motion video background actually switches over to a you're doing really good or you're doing really bad version of the video that would be playing at that part of the song. So it's really cool. Like, you'll be playing and then you're doing really bad, and the audience starts throwing cups at you, and then your singer catches the cup and throws it at you, that kind of stuff. And then the TV aspect is like the second half. It's like the multiplayer component of the game, and the way that element works is you basically go on there, and they have two channels: there's GH1 and GH2. I assume it has to be like a parody of VH1 and VH2, but. I think it's just such a brilliant idea.
It's set up like it, too, kind of.
Yeah.
Like with the previews.
Yeah, like they show previews of what songs are coming up.
And you are playing the same songs of other people at the same time, all around the world.
The way this works is you choose one of the two channels, and they have a broadcast schedule of songs basically set up, predetermined on their end, on server side. And you go on there, and you can... you play the song, and it basically puts you in a lobby, I guess, with 10 other players, I think, and you're basically playing a high score competition mode.
Oh, there's a lobby.
Oh well, yeah. When you
I assumed it was like everyone on your console or something.
Well, I mean, as unpopular as the Wii U is, I doubt there's only 10 people.
Because I'm like, I just thought it was because the Wii U version, no one bought it.
No, it actually does show. put you in a lobby of like 10 other players, because the PlayStation 4 version is the same way, and put you in a lobby of like 10 other players, and you're basically trying to, in each song, you're trying to have the highest score in your lobby, and if you get the highest score, I think you get like a XP bonus or something at the end. But it's really cool what they've done with that, and it really just, they update it all the time too, and it's such a brilliant idea. You can purchase plays to play songs that they play on the channels on demand, which I think is just such a brilliant way of handling their DLC. They've done such a good job at just handling their online component. I think it's amazing. So
yeah, but I like it. At the same time, I miss the old way of doing it.
And speaking of the old way of doing it, you have
Rock Band for that. It's just
entire flip side. Yeah, Rock Band.
The thing is, it's like what Guitar Hero. It almost makes you want to just go play Rock Band instead, because
I have kind of this weird flip-floppy feeling whenever I'm playing these games, because I feel like when I'm playing Guitar Hero, I want to play Rock Band, and when I'm playing Rock Band, I want to play Guitar Hero. I end up wanting to play the other one.
I like the 6-button thing.
Yeah.
The whole is completely different now.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like that better in a way, but at the same time, I miss the old Rock Band style.
Rock Band 4 is pretty much just the other Rock Band games. They've added some optional freestyle things that I don't feel work too well.
Those were terrible.
They make sense now that I've kind of taken some time to learn them, because what they do is they basically highlight parts of the note track during solos. Instead of giving you notes, they highlight parts of the note tracks, like the higher end notes, the lower end notes, or the middle note.
I don't find that.
And you have to hold down those fret buttons, and you have to strum to the beat that they show on the note track. It's really confusing, and it's interesting, but I feel like I'd rather just, have the regular solo notes, and they provide that as an option. So we had some hardware issues with Rock Band as well, though.
Yeah, you had to update the firmware on them.
Yeah, there was a really weird process we had to go through. We had to connect the controllers to my laptop through Bluetooth, and then download a firmware update or program from Mad Catz, and it was confusing. It fixed all the issues we were having, it seems. So I haven't had freestyle mode turn itself back on yet.
Speaking of which, speaking of Rock Band, you should have used the mic for our podcast.
Oh yeah, well that's
because your headset isn't exactly.
I do. I think I might end up getting a mic stand for that, actually. That way, I
would definitely. Get one immediately.
We need that for Rock Band, anyways.
Yeah, but we need it for this because
sometimes if you're feeling like a masochist, is that how it's
a masochist?
Masochist, yeah. If you're feeling like a masochist, you can play the guitar and sing at the same time.
I've thought about that, but I hate singing, so.
So, anyways, Rock Band 4, I feel like it's a great revisiting of the whole thing. If you had been playing Rock Band 3 since it came out until now, I think you'd probably end up being disappointed. I haven't played Rock Band 3 for a couple of years. I haven't played a Rock Band game for a couple of years. I think you and I may have played it like once briefly, like maybe a year ago. But...
Well, it was like a few years ago. It was the Wii version, and
yeah,
it was on that. It was on your old small CRT TV.
Yeah,
and it was terrible. Just look at that.
But I feel like if you were to go straight from Rock Band 3, like expecting the next big thing, like a Guitar Hero level of a shift, you're going to be disappointed. But if you just want like Rock Band, if you want the classic rhythm, the classic guitar band rhythm game that you kind of got used to back in the day with Guitar Hero, this is kind of what's going to scratch that itch, I guess.
And the drums, like, if you don't want a Guitar Hero,
oh yeah,
if you want drums, you're going to have to go
bass guitar and singing as well. Well, singing is actually in Guitar Hero Live.
It's strange,
which is a bit odd, but I guess it makes sense for their whole TV thing, because if you're having a party, not everyone's going to want to play the guitar. You might have someone who just wants to use it as a karaoke machine, which is again why the live thing is just such a genius idea. But
it's got a lot of great ideas,
mm-hmm.
and I applaud it for that. But it could be better,
mm-hmm.
and the controller could be better. in terms of build quality.
There's been a lot of reports of the controllers not working for people having damaged controllers and whatnot. So
Rock Band 4 played it safe. Guitar Hero Live went in a whole new direction.
Yeah.
And I think both succeed in a way.
They did, yeah. So
both are fun. Fun as ever.
Now we need to get moving on here to our next topic, and this is going to be our main topic for the whole show.
Well, we need to talk about...
we have another
there's
small
one more
topic
thing
here. Yeah, the NX. The Nintendo NX. You said you got a new scoop on, I believe.
Well, I mean, this has been, I think, rumored.
Dang, you got to take credit where it's given.
Or read a few articles of where they're expecting the NX to be starting, like, shipped out next year.
Now, is this speculation or is this based on some kind of evidence? I mean, I think Nintendo hinted at that, but
I think it was speculation.
Okay. It does seem like a very realistic prediction. I can see
but there's also, like, Mr. Kimishima today has been talking about how it will be unique and different. And he was asked by Time Magazine about the questions about, like, he stated that he never said the Wii U would fail necessarily. Mm-hmm. He knew it wouldn't be successful. That's it definitely wouldn't be on the level of the Wii. He also said that he wasn't just going to be a 1-year president. Mm. So all those other rumors that were flying around when he first came in about all that stuff apparently aren't necessarily true. So
weird because, normally they would say, oh yeah, this is just a new game system, but they've been very mum on exactly what the NX is. And
this is a supplemental computing device.
That's what they claim. Yeah, that's what they're saying. So, I don't know, maybe it's like some kind of thing to be used as maybe it's something that's going to be, sold and used in a similar method as like maybe a VR helmet or maybe like the Game Boy Advance GameCube link cable, or maybe even like because one thing I could see it being is maybe it's this thing you hook it up to your Wii U and then it streams video to the 3DS. That way, allowing for more detailed 3DS gameplay with a kind of second screen experience. That's something I could see them doing maybe, but again, it's hard to say considering how little information there actually is on the hardware.
Yeah, and I also read that they're planning on 20 million NX units, or there's talk about that, that they're to be shipped initially.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's I'm not sure what NX is, so I'm not sure what to make of it yet. Moving on?
Yeah, move on.
Okay. So the Game Awards happened tonight on on December 3rd, time of this recording. So very exciting, in my opinion. I was actually not expecting anything. I was expecting Mountain Dew everywhere, and we got Skrillex and Deadmau5 and all the amazing hype train stuff with maybe like a Call of Duty trailer or something. But no, actually, it ended up being a very interesting thing with a lot of very cool surprise announcements. So we're going to kind of go through this in sort of chronological order, I suppose, kind of recapping our impressions of the Game Awards. So, Dan, you were watching it as well. We didn't watch it in the same room, but we were both watching it live online, and I think it was a very exciting show. Do you agree?
I thought it was very fair.
Mm-hmm.
Very, because usually, I'm surprised Nintendo got any awards, because usually with these award shows, it doesn't seem like Nintendo's even acknowledged.
Well, they hosted it last year, I think.
Who?
Nintendo.
Nintendo hosted it. I don't.
Or they sponsored it primarily. They were like the primary sponsor for
Were
last
they?
year. Yeah.
To show off. Was that the one with Cranky Kong, or was that?
No. That was the year before that. No, this
that wasn't. This is
last year. Last year is the one where they showed off Zelda U.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
But anyways,
Because I don't think I watched last year's.
so yeah, trust
But
me,
I'm
you didn't miss
just...
You did not miss anything. So,
Well, this is Jeff Keighley's show, right?
yeah, it is now Jeff Keighley's show. Before last year, it was actually owned by Spike.
Yeah, that's when
Which
it was crappy.
explains a lot.
That's when it was really crappy.
It was the really cringeworthy
With
stuff. So,
Samuel L. Jackson. And...
I don't remember that. Probably for the better. Anyways.
Well, he was the host of that show. He was always...
I remember they had Charlie Sheen come out onto the stage and say that Call of Duty won Game of the Year. He seemed kind of hungover though, so that was a bit confusing. He also seemed to be a bit confused. Anyways, before the Game Awards even started, they started handing out awards because they seem to try and get through those as fast as possible to try and get to their big musical acts and their game reveals, because that's what this show has kind of become. That's kind of what what they're all about now. The awards just kind of happen, and then they have game reveals.
Well, the thing is, no one really cares too much about the awards. They care more about seeing new reveals.
Yeah,
because I don't give a shit who. I kind of.
Yeah.
Like, and something in me that wants to root for Nintendo to win stuff, but I don't think Super Mario Maker deserves to win Game of the Year at all.
Yeah, it's weird. I thought it was weird that was that was.
There's a lot better games than that, because that's user content. It's not really.
It's all user content. It's like
nothing like super unique.
WarioWare DIY deserves a Game of the Year award. I don't think it does. I mean, I think it's a cool game. But
it's a very cool concept and game, and it's fine what it is. But like Game of the Year, like up there with The Witcher and
it just seems like
Fallout.
Out of place. It seemed out of place.
And even some. What else was on there?
Rocket League should have been up there in Game of the Year awards. That's my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's not big enough.
But anyways, before the show even started, though, Nintendo got the Mario Maker got the award for best family game, and then as soon as the show started, they handed out the award for best multiplayer. I think the 4 games running for that title were Rocket League, Splatoon, Black Ops 3, and the other one's coming up as a blank for me. I can't remember what it was. But Splatoon ended up winning that.
Halo was on there.
It was Destiny, and then
it's Destiny. And,
it was Destiny, which
and Halo.
It's exactly like Halo, so it's hard to tell them apart. But
they're different because one's an MMO.
That's true, yeah,
and also different.
It's by the Halo developer. But anyways, Splatoon won best multiplayer, which I was surprised to seeing it was going up against Destiny. Or specifically Destiny's expansion, which I have played, and it's a lot of fun. Much better than the base.
I played that for the first time. Destiny.
But you did play Destiny for the first time.
Which it's not bad, not bad.
Yeah. Now I will say that expansion is.
You also played Splatoon for the first time.
I did play Splatoon for the first time. That's another one of my Black Friday.
Our Black Friday.
Yes, we went on a Black Friday shopping spree. Anyways, Splatoon won best multiplayer, and then they cut to a commercial break. They cut to commercial breaks a couple times throughout the show, and most of the time it wasn't anything too exciting.
The commercials were all either like a game reveal or like showing a trailer.
They're like showing a trailer for like the Elder Scrolls Online expansion, and there's like no audience response at all.
Yeah, and they had like the testimonies with those people, and the guy at the end sounded extremely enthusiastic. Except not at all.
Yeah,
this is
very much
a great game.
I was paid to read this enthusiasm. Anyways, but after Splatoon won best multiplayer, Dan, you know that I am a huge Tron fan. And Tron Run /R Tron Runner, I think is how it's supposed to be pronounced. That was revealed actually in a in a trailer and during one of their commercial breaks between or after Splatoon 1 Best Multiplayer, and my mind was blown because what happened way back during E3, me or the Tron community over at Tron Sector, tron-sector.com, if you guys want to check it out. They found someone there found a rating on a German games rating board, listing for a game called Tron Escape, and we were all a little confused, like, oh, is this going to be something that's revealed at E3? Awesome, we're getting a new Tron game. And we were all like, oh yeah, it sounds like an Infinite Runner, but hey, at least we're getting something. And because, we've just been, Tron 3 was canceled. The movie was canceled. We were all pretty heartbroken about that. So to see a new Tron game kind of coming out now, it's exciting for us, even if it is an Infinite Runner. And so we were all kind of, we had nervous optimism about this whole thing. So E3 came and went, no Tron. So we were all a little confused, like, what is this thing? So a few days ago, one of the administrators on Tron Sector, he noticed that, or one of his friends on Steam, directed him to some leaked screenshots of what appeared to be some Tron game that may have been canceled. It's called Tron Escape, and or it didn't have a name associated with it, rather. So we were all freaking out, like, oh, hey, this new Tron, this must be Tron Escape. It must have been canceled. It's unfortunate. And we were looking at this concept art. It seemed to kind of reinforce this whole theory we all had that it was an Infinite Runner. So then today, suddenly Tron Runner available now on Steam Early Access.
Your stream was like 2 minutes behind.
Mine was, yeah.
And I'm like, I saw it. I'm like, just like, Jeff.
I was like, oh, what, is there a second development table tonight? So, anyways, I was very excited about that. I picked it up. It's all right. I'm going to do a video review for it. It'll be on the YouTube channel, so definitely check that out.
We'll get that up.
Yeah, that'll
get that
sometime soon, hopefully.
Within the next week or two, because we need to. We need to get some stuff going. Yeah,
get some more video content going. So, anyways, Tron Runner was announced. It was like my highlight for the show, even though it's like a bit trip runner type game. But either way, I was excited about it. And I like to feel excited about things. So after that commercial break, Shaquille O'Neal,
the highlight of the show,
Shaq, walked onto the stage, told everyone that they were all gonna, if they look under the seats, everyone in attendance is getting a free copy of Shaq Fu from 1994, and the audience freaked out, cheering. I don't know why you would be excited to get.
Well, if I had a brand new copy of an old SNES game.
That's
the
true.
Shaq Fu, that's probably rare. I'd probably be excited.
And
I'm also confused how they got all those copies of it.
It turned out he was joking. It wasn't actually true. But they are making, it's called Shaq Fu The Legend Returns, I think. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It looks decent. I don't really know much about it. My stream was kind of glitching out, and it was on very low quality, so it was hard for me to see what was going on. But it looks like a very fast-paced 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up featuring Shaq, voiced by Shaq, and mocapped by Shaq, I believe, is what the developers said in their Kickstarter page. So, some interesting stuff there. They say this time they won't foo it up. So, I don't know if I want to take...
I think it'd be mediocre at best.
It is coming to Wii U, so...
really?
This is that. That was one of their... That is one of their target platforms, I believe. So, after Shaq Fu, we got a Batman trailer. Telltale Games is actually making...
Batman.
Yeah, they're making a Batman series, and I am so ashamed I have not had the chance... I've never completed a Telltale Games series before.
Shame on you.
Started Walking Dead. I never finished it. I started Sam & Max, never finished it. I started Wallace and Gromit, never finished it. I need to finish them. So, eventually, one of these days, I will get around to it. But, I'm excited to see where they take it, because their games are usually a lot more slower paced. So, I'm thinking, like, wow, maybe this is going to focus on, the life of Bruce Wayne instead of just being a Batman action game. I think that could be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
He is the world's greatest detective, so that fits perfectly. Like that whole detective element fits perfectly.
I wasn't necessarily excited about it. I was just like, nah.
Well, that's your reaction to everything.
No? To that, because it's like, they released so many of these games now, all of a sudden. Like, ever since, like, I was confused why there was a Borderlands one, like, and a Minecraft. It's like, what?
Minecraft one's a little confusing, but
that doesn't even make, like,
it's story mode.
What?
But,
and,
but then they brought Troy Baker, who's like one of the two voice, like him and Nolan North, like the two voice actors. They're in everything, like literally everything. And Troy Baker walks on the stage.
This is how you get into voice acting. And I get this question all the time. You want to know how? Step 1, save up your money and buy a decent microphone. Step 2, wait for Nolan North and I to die.
And that is so true. That was a great quote. I think that's a quote that I'm going to be saving in my quote library.
Basically, that is.
But yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Just wait for Nolan North.
If there's one question that pisses off voice actors and actresses, it's the "how become a voice actor" question. Mm-hmm. It's every convention I go to, every fucking panel, the question comes up, and it's gotten to the point to where the voice actors are like, "Do not ask that fucking question. Go watch a YouTube video. Like, ask us questions that aren't like." But some person always brings it up.
I think Troy Baker's two-step process is I think that should be the end-all question or the end-all answer for that question at any of those conventions.
Yeah. I don't know what conventions he goes to because he is high up there. He's as high up as a voice actor.
Who, Troy Baker?
Yeah, he is way up there.
And then after that, oh gosh, excuse me. They had the award for the most popular internet celebrity, which
most trending gamer.
The most trending gamer, yes, and that was actually chosen by fans on the Game Awards website, and I don't remember who it was that it went to, but it did not go to PewDiePie, and it also did not go.
It did not go to Markiplier.
It did not go to Markiplier. My mouth was close enough to the mic for that. Markiplier.
Oh man.
It went to some guy.
I went to the guy. He's actually a pretty funny guy.
I don't remember his name, but
see, we don't know. I don't know nothing about Let's Players. I don't.
No idea
care.
Who this guy is, but he had a great quote, and it was, "I want to thank the guy who's sitting there working on a Maya project, who won't see this until it goes up on YouTube tomorrow morning."
Because that hit home with me because
I'm
an animator. Mm-hmm. I've got Maya. But I don't have Maya on my computer right now because I just upgraded to Windows 10.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with the Game Awards, or the TGAs, I think is what they're calling it this year. That's the thing. It actually was like the people they had up there on the stage were actually entertaining. It wasn't like, okay, you're the entertaining guy. You had your 5 seconds to talk. Now get off so we can have Skrillex come up on stage and do his thing, or so we can have this football guy come up on stage and say something, or so we can have this celebrity who knows nothing about what we're doing come up on stage and say.
Well, I think they might. I don't know if Keith Sutherland knows anything.
Well, yeah, but he's there because he's at least.
Well, yeah, everyone's relevant.
Yeah, well, that's debatable. I would debate.
Well, like who is not relevant?
There was the one guy who was talking with iJustine at the in the green room where they weren't watching the TGAs; they were just playing Battlefront. And he's there. She's like, "What's your favorite thing about Battlefront?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. That thing, Darth Vader. Darth Vader's cool." He's had no idea.
They're talking to Deadmau5.
Was that Deadmau5?
He was. He had all the tattoos.
I can't recognize him without.
That was Deadmau5
helmet.
And he's relevant because he's performing.
That's true. But every time they have like a long like performance like that, it reminds me of Activision's final E3 press conference. Did you ever hear about that?
I've
They so Activision
probably seen it.
they used to do a press conference at E3 like just like Nintendo, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and Sony and whatnot. But you see, Activision had a press conference back in 2007, I think. They had Jamie Kennedy, a comedian, put that in big sarcasm quotes there, uh, known for his role as the main character in Son of the Mask, unfortunately. And he came up on stage hungover and just made a bunch of horrible jokes, like, "Oh, you're from Neversoft? Is that like where they make Viagra?" And all these horrible jokes, not funny at all. Um, but that was their last real press conference before their final press conference the next year, where they had Tony Hawk come onto the stage, start skating around on there. They had a half pipe lower from the ceiling, but it didn't work and it didn't lower from the ceiling, so Tony Hawk just kind of walked away confused. Everyone's ready for some person to come up and announce some big new game, but no. Then Dead Mouse comes down from the ceiling. He's playing a whole set. It goes on for a long, long time, and then it just ends.
Oh, there you go.
That was their final press conference at E3.
And next,
So, anyways, back to the GAs.
Far Cry Primal,
Far Cry Primal,
which actually surprised me
hmm
because I was expecting another Far Cry game. It's set in like way back in like
the Primal Age, as
that
the title
like
suggests.
when Neanderthals and stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because I just expect it to be okay. So it's going to be like Far Cry 4, which already has all the beasts and everything, and you're going to be like fighting animals and stuff. Okay, that's neat, I guess. Whatever, neat, interesting setting. But then no, it turns out you are the Beastmaster. You tame the animals in the
Saber-toothed tigers.
You tame them. You give them the commands, and it just looks so cool.
And woolly mammoths.
Yeah. Which, Far Cry 4 had the whole elephant thing, which is cool, but no, this has friggin'
Woolly
mammoths.
fucking mammoth.
Yeah. The elephants thing, you heard about that in Far Cry 4, right?
Yeah.
Where you ride them and then you have your guns and everything. That looked cool, but no, this is even cooler. And you don't have guns in this.
Yeah, no guns, thank God.
It's all spears. It's like, okay, so
I am stunned Ubisoft would do this.
Every game in 2013 every game like 2013 onwards, you have to have a crossbow for some
every
reason.
FPS
Has to have
AAA developer.
So they look this. Okay, so every game's got to have a crossbow. What if
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about every game's got to be a modern day shooter.
Well,
or a futuristic shooter.
I feel like this is. I think this is going to be. I'm assuming. I don't know how to have any evidence to back this up, but I assume that this is going to be like a smaller scale project, sort of like Blood Dragon, where it's not going to be a very long game. It's going to be like offered as a $15 download, like Blood Dragon, and it's going to be a shorter kind of open world game experience. That's my assumption, at least. And being the Beastmaster is already pretty over the top, so I assume.
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, I get.
But it does look very cool. Blood Dragon's something that would also never be approved. If you were like at that time, if you were like bring it up to like Ubisoft, they would be like, oh, let's put it in a modern setting or put it in like
It's got to be it's got to be the Advanced Warfighters. Like everything's got to be an Advanced Warfighter kind of shit.
But no, Blood Dragon I thought was really cool because it was this huge homage to a lot of '80s type stuff. I thought it was cool. But
just oh my god.
But yeah,
rant about this fucking
Far Cry Primal looks so cool. So then they showed this trailer. This trailer, they're talking about this military general. He's talking about this evil island, and they got to invade it for whatever reason. So, but they can't send in any of their armed forces because this girl is telepathically controlling a bunch of tactical nukes that are flying around the island, and she thinks she's herding sheep in her dreams. So the general turns around, the light lights him up, and he says, "We need to send in the Psychonauts." And then it turns out Psychonauts 2 is a real thing. It's happening, and it's up on a crowdfunding website. It's not going through Kickstarter, though, I found out. They are going through a different crowdfunding service, and I forgot what it's called. It's called Fig.co. And I think I may have heard of this one previously, but the way this one works is you contribute
You
to this.
basically have like stocks.
It's kind of like buying stocks. So you contribute to this project, and
Investment.
You are actually making an investment here. You actually get some money. You get part of the profit from the final project. Oh gosh, excuse me again.
No yawning.
Yeah,
Asshole.
but you actually do get some profit from the final project, which I think is really interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. I might end up, backing this because being able to invest in a project like that is really cool. Now I'm looking at the page they set up for Psychonauts 2, and they have an estimated release date of fall 2018.
3 years.
A ways away. So
There you go.
now, for anyone who doesn't know what Psychonauts is, Dan, I don't think you were really too familiar with Psychonauts.
No, I don't know anything.
Basically, Tim Schafer of Double Fine, before he was at Double Fine. Basically, he was the director of this Mario-style platformer game where you play as a kid who's going to this camp to become a psychokinetic special forces member, and basically you go into other characters' minds to fix their mental problems or whatever. So it was very well received. No one bought it. It was a commercial failure. Every time you tried pitching it to a company, they turned it down. So he's turned to crowdfunding, sort of like what they did with the adventure game, Broken Age, I think is what it ended up being called. And so they're doing Psychonauts 2 now. I'm sure it doesn't seem like it's going up as fast as Shenmue 3. This is at the time it looks like they won $3,300,000 for this, and they're at 400,000 right now.
Yeah, they'll probably get it.
Refresh the page here real quick. Oh, 590,000 now.
Yeah, they'll get it.
They're totally gonna do this. So they have 34 days left on that. So best of luck to them. I am definitely looking forward to that. The trailer was amazing. So that was definitely the one moment of this whole thing, apart from Tron, that made me scream out loud, "What the fuck is going on here?" So,
There really wasn't anything that I was screaming about. I was shocked about Splatoon.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know, the whole highlight to me was the Kojima thing, which we'll talk about.
Yeah,
here
we'll get to that. But next, Rocket League is a game we talk about all the time on the show, and we still need to stream that at some point. But Rocket League is something we talk about all the time. It ended up winning the award for Best Sports and Racing Game, and also won Best Indie Game at that same time. So that was very, very cool to me. I'm a huge fan of Rocket League, and it was cool to see it win an award. Still feeling a little salty.
You got such a love affair with that fucking shit.
About Splatoon taking the multiplayer award from my beloved.
Are you like with GameSpot and how like that's the only thing GameSpot talks about?
Oh, really? I didn't know.
They post like I think it's either that or Polygon. Someone has a love of the only thing they talk about is Rocket League every day. There's always some Rocket League article. It's so fucking annoying after a while.
I'm assuming that's probably not Polygon. I don't know. I don't really.
I think it's GameSpot. They have, I don't know that.
But they also announced Rocket League is coming to Xbox One as well. So, or they said Xbox. I don't think they said Xbox One. So I assume maybe it's coming to. Well, it's not on PS.
That doesn't make any sense. No, it's coming on
Xbox One. Yeah. So.
I think it's something interesting that this next topic, the Satoru Iwata Tribute.
Oh yes, so Jeff Keighley I keep saying his name wrong. He actually was debating whether or not to go. Like after Iwata's death, like he saw Iwata several months before his death, and it seemed like a completely normal conversation. Iwata was happy to see him. He waved goodbye. It seemed like nothing was wrong, and he Iwata knew almost certainly that what was going on, that he didn't have much time left at that time, and so Keighley had like this whole realization, like, wow, what is going on in this guy's mind? And he began to think, wow, can I even like do the Game Awards this year with him having passed away? And Reggie came on stage. They did a slideshow kind of tribute thing, and Reggie comes on stage and gives the most amazing speech ever.
I was waiting for him to do some speech, and I just assumed I assumed he would have, because I don't think he ever had there wasn't really any tribute from Nintendo. They didn't really do anything that I remember, but I wasn't expecting this at all.
Mm-hmm. It was totally out of nowhere. That was the most amazing.
They were waiting for this award show to do something about it, and it was great that Reggie had a speech.
That was amazing.
For one of the greatest programmers presidents in video game history.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking
it was a
legendary programmer.
Inspirational speech. Definitely one of the highlights of the show emotionally for me.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Now, after that Iwata Tribute, there was a kind of, they went to lighten things up. They had a video from Harmonix and Oculus. I guess they've been working on a VR version of Rock Band 4 for a while now. And so they had this video. They were saying in order to capture the Rockstar experience, they hired Dragon Force. And they had this fun video where they're they had the programmers with Dragon Force trying to smashing guitars onto the stage, and then programmers were like, oh yeah, we just booked a gig, we're stealing your van, and then they just drive off in Dragon Force's van.
It's a bus.
Yeah.
Entire tour bus.
They just steal Dragon Force's tour bus and drive off.
And then that's it.
And then Rock Band VR, which appears to basically be Rock Band 4.
Oh, that reminds me that
effective.
We don't have this on here, but the other, they were doing indie developer short film things.
Oh,
and one of them, that VR thing that looked really cool.
Oh yeah,
that looked
the Amazing
awesome.
Contraption or something.
I want to play that.
That looked cool. Yeah, they showed a bunch of little indie short film things that you can view on Unity's website because they were all sponsored by Unity. They did a couple of documentary things about Unity developers. So check those out on the Unity website, unity3d.com, I think. So
yeah, just Google Unity and find it.
But after the Iwata Tribute, they were showing Rock Band VR, which looked interesting. I'm not really sure how well that would work, but interested to see how.
I mean, that's what I was thinking about that with Guitar Hero Live. I'm like, this with VR would be great.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Because it's not working for me on this TV. That TV's not big enough.
Yeah.
I need a projector to play this on. Then maybe I'd feel something.
So they went on to talk about Metal Gear Solid, but they didn't really. Instead, Jeff Keighley's up there on his little podium talking about how
this is highlight
for
me.
Dan. Highlight for Dan.
And for a lot of everyone else,
Jeff
for most
Keighley
people,
said that he heard from Kojima that Konami's lawyers said that he could not attend the Game Awards.
Yeah, and Keighley right after that was like,
after that audience,
it's a shame. Yeah, the audience boos.
Yeah, and
boo.
you don't hear the audience boo too often during these big live shows. Even gaming, where you have a much more emotionally attached audience, you don't hear them boo too often.
No.
I can think of two instances where, off the top of my head, where I've heard an audience boo. There's that. And when Sony announced the PlayStation Vita 4G model would be using AT&T's network.
Was it a boo or was it a laugh?
That was the combination of boos and laughter.
Okay. Well, it's 3G. It wasn't 4G, I don't think.
I thought it was 4G. Anyways.
No, it's 3G.
Anyways,
then.
um,
No,
so,
they're important. We got to make sure we're right.
so
But yeah, right after that, Jeff Keighley.
you call this the booing of Konami.
Yeah, the booing of. Right after that, he's
Such a
like,
dramatic name.
Jeff Keighley was like, it's really such a shame that a great video game developer like Kojima can't be here today, and it's just a shame. He says something like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just craziness.
Oh well,
Crazy.
he's not fired. He's just on a very, very long vacation.
See, Konami, they don't want him to like go out of vacation to go to the awards. They want him to enjoy his vacation.
Oh yeah, you got to relax, sit in an isolated room, preferably in
Konami understands.
Konami HQ.
Okay? And I just read another tweet that Kojima just sent out, or he retweeted somebody that said, "Yes, I just started this booing myself in here." Hashtag the Game Awards. Love you, Hideo Kojima. Tell it like it is. At Jeff Keighley.
So yeah,
Kojima's not happy either.
Yeah, Kojima's.
He's the one who told Jeff.
It seems like Kojima enjoyed that, but I think Konami's probably not all too happy about it. They are definitely in a PR nightmare right now. They are casually ignoring.
They were already hated, and now they're even.
And they've been teasing Chapter 3 from Metal Gear Solid 5 on Twitter this whole time. Retweeting on the Metal Gear Solid account everything related to the Game Awards, and it's just so horrible. They didn't do anything there. I think it got like a award, but that's it. But
they won Best Soundtrack, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they got Best, I think.
But didn't it win Best?
You can't see that game get Best Soundtrack. It has Sins of the Father's an amazing song, but that's like the only song in the game that I like.
It won another award. It won.
I don't remember.
No, it did because Sutherland had to accept the award.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland accepted an award.
The Best Action Adventure Game.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but
it's a good game. Really good game.
Oh yeah.
Great game.
Now we have it's I don't know. There's Konami's in such a PR nightmare now with the whole the community that they were basically trying to hold on to so tightly for so long, as long as they could. They wanted to hold on to that conspiracy theorist community for as long as they could by tweeting out all these obscure things.
It doesn't seem like they care about anything other than money.
Truth can be found for peace, and they just wanted to hold on to that group as long as possible.
The biggest slap in the face.
And there's just nothing happens. They won a couple of awards, no announcements, no nothing. They had the entire cast there, except for Kojima, and nothing. No announcements, nothing at all.
And Tinfoil community.
Very
upset.
Is very upset and rapidly dying.
And our Chapter 3 theory is not looking too good.
Everyone is saying boycott Konami. This is BS. So
Konami ain't going to produce anything other than soccer and
they
baseball games now.
I'd say that Metal Gear Solid is still part of their things they want to produce. They do have Metal Gear Solid Pachinko apparently in development, which is not surprising.
God.
But not a good time to be Konami. But after the booing of Konami,
and he just retweeted someone who says, "We are with you, Hideo," and it's the black screen with the Hideo up in the top right corner, like the TV.
Oh yeah.
It happens.
That's great.
He knows all this stuff's going on.
Yeah.
Fans are upset.
After the booing of Konami, which is a ceremonial event, we must look forward to the next year's booing of Konami. But there was a Star Citizen trailer that was shown to show some of the new features they've got in their new alpha build that just released tonight, I believe. And showing some of the first-person gameplay. You can eject out of your ship as you're flying through space and then actually float around in first person, even onto other people's ships, it looked like. So there's some cool stuff there. I definitely want to get Star Citizen at some point.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
And then, next topic. Back to So the
Back
singer,
to Konami, yeah.
or not singer, who
what's
was
her
it?
name? Jade Raymond from previously at Ubisoft, now at EA, came on stage to talk about something, and to present the Best Voice Actor award. And she like started off like saying, "Now, what voice actor is there that's better than Metal Gear Solid's own David Hayter?" That was a horrible joke.
I was like, I laughed.
That was just a cruel stab in the
And
stab.
she's like, yeah, that was bad.
That was horrible.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. She apologized.
And then she botched up the award.
Oh yeah, she announced that the award went to somebody who won for Witcher 3, which, considering how many awards The Witcher 3 won throughout that whole show, is not.
I can't comment on Witcher 3 because I haven't played it.
Same.
I haven't played through the other ones.
I played through a lot of the games that were in that show, but yeah, that was just a I don't know if you can call that a joke or if that's a personal attack or something. But
no,
man.
I think she just had to make the joke because I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's strange that.
And then finally, they had one last surprise to show us. They had one final surprise for all of us.
Yeah, it was going to be after Dead Mouse, and then
was it? Did they say it was going to be after Dead Mouse?
Yeah, he said we have Dead Mouse coming out. It was like we got one last surprise for you, but right now we have we got Dead Mouse coming out right now though.
To play a brand new, never before heard Dead Mouse song. I don't know. That was weird.
It was like a Super Mario kind of like.
Yeah, my
Super Mario World.
Super
Mario World
died when that happened.
It was nice. It depends if you like that kind of electro.
That was the wrap up for the Game Awards. I think it was cool. You know,
I'm still waiting for the final announcement.
Chapter 3,
I tweeted Jeff Keighley. I'm like, where's the final announcement? Or what's the last surprise? I was like, is this going to be like some Smash trailer? I called Snake being announced. But maybe that was the final surprise and Kojima couldn't be there. I don't fucking know.
And, speaking of last minute things, I think the Tron thing was very last minute. Because the thing is, Tron Runner...
It's broken?
It was announced tonight. It was revealed tonight. And they said it was out now on Steam through early access. And it is. For $10. And the thing is, I think what happened was, Disney intentionally leaked the screenshots and all the concept art and whatnot because it was shown in the trailer. And I think they weren't expecting us to react the way that we did as a community, because the way we reacted was, oh, look at this canceled Tron game. I guess this basically confirms that it's canceled now that we're seeing leaked concept art. They're like, oh, shit, no, it's not canceled. We need you guys to get hyped for this. So I think at the last second they decided, okay, we need to release this now. And that led to, this whole deal with it being released immediately on early access. Because it does feel very rushed together. There's no exit button in the game.
No, you're stuck inside the computer, Jeff.
Yeah, the game has the central theme of escape, and it does a great job at conveying that theme by not letting you quit the game. So,
because you got to find a way to escape
from the city. Didn't really work.
Escape from the city.
So that was the Game Awards 2015. Overall, astronomically much better than it has ever been.
I look at the comments and it seems to be overly negative, but that's every award show. They'd be like, oh, what's the swing? It's in the one there. I think it's overrated. Well, everyone thinks every single one of those games is overrated. There's always somebody. Fallout 4 is overrated. Batman's overrated. It's impossible to please everybody with these awards.
Oh,
yeah, always, Super Mario's the one. Or it's like Call of Duty should have won.
I don't think I saw a single person saying that Mario Maker should have won Game of the Year.
No, I'm just making shit up. But I'm not making shit up that someone said The Witcher 3 was overrated. But
no, I think I think it was a much more entertaining show than it's ever been. There's a lot less of the irrelevant celebrities showing up, like Charlie Sheen showing up to present the award for Best Shooter. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, it's Charlie Sheen.
I suppose he doesn't really make any goddamn sense in the first place, but no. Overall, your overall thoughts on the award on the TGA 2015?
It's fine. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fair because you were complaining that the what's it called? Bloodborne didn't. Rocket League didn't win
Rocket
10
League
awards, or
didn't
Bloodborne didn't win
enough
because those are the only games you fucking played other than Fallout 4 out of all of them.
Bloodborne didn't win anything, I don't think.
Which I don't know. I
feel like it should have.
Possibly, I guess, but it was at least nominated for most of them.
Yeah, it got some nominations at least. But I mean, are you looking forward to the Game Awards 2016?
Not really looking forward to it.
Not looking forward to it?
I mean, I don't sway either way. I'm just like, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, like
it's not E3. It's not E3.
This year's Game Awards felt like a mini E3, sort of.
Kind of. But I'm confused why it's in December. Like December 3rd. Because Just Cause 3 just came out.
Yeah, that is a bit. Just Cause 3
could have won some awards. And there's still games to come out yet. Like,
yeah.
I mean, everything that's relevant has been released, I guess. Apparently. Battlefront wasn't nominated for nothing.
That's true. Yeah.
But they were sure as hell promoting it.
Yeah, they were.
The AMD Game Room.
Interesting. Yeah, the AMD Green Room, I think, is what it was called. Where they had iJustine, I think, from Nickelodeon. Is that what she's?
I don't know. I don't care. They're all irrelevant to me. I don't know. I don't know who that is.
But I'm definitely looking forward to next year's TGAs. It's starting to feel like an event that I can look forward to. Because they kind of got away.
I thought it dragged on though.
Once they dropped the whole Spike thing, like once they dropped their partnership with Spike, it felt like they were actually able to start focusing on things that actually interest people who play video games, instead of having to appeal to the dude crowd that watches Spike. Like with the dude and Monster Energy drink, Red Bull. Crap.
Yeah, I think it's about as good.
By beef jerky.
I think it's about as good as a award show as you're gonna get.
I think it's really good.
I think it was fine.
It's still improving. There's still room for improvement.
Well, yeah,
but it is a significant.
Well, like back to the Bloodborne thing with the art direction.
Yeah,
you were complaining that it didn't win.
I feel like Bloodborne has a lot of really unique art direction, but that indie game ended up winning it. Not that I'm complaining, I'm not saying like, oh, it's an indie game, it shouldn't be winning over Bloodborne. But no, I feel like...
Yes, you are, Jeff.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't really seen much of that indie game. It won all kinds.
I haven't seen much of any of those, but I still like just looking at them. Like, yeah, that art looks fantastic.
It did look cool.
Like the art was extremely well done. Extremely well done. And I think it looked beautiful, and I thought it should have won even by just looking at it.
That's fair enough.
But just from unique, just because the technical level, it's very good. Because other games like The Witcher and Fallout, the graphics are just not. I don't think Fallout was in there.
One thing I do want to point out about Fallout. Well, it's on my mind. One of the things you said you were disappointed about with Fallout 4 when you initially saw it was that it seemed like it was too colorful.
Too saturated.
Yeah, and I've found, through playing it, it is very colorful, but the way they handle the lighting, I kind of feel like there's this kind of mist in the air as you're walking around. Do you remember the level in Call of Duty 4? It was called All Gillied Up. It was the one where you're in
That's the best level in Call of Duty history.
The lighting in Fallout 4, despite all the colors, actually feels very similar to that level. And I was very surprised.
The game was all brown.
That level was black and white, thank you very much. But
No, it was brown.
There was some brown in there, but no. I feel like Fallout 4's lighting does feel very. It reminds me.
Well, did they tone it down? Is the question from the trailer.
I think so. Because like I said, it feels like there's this kind of fog in the air.
Well, it especially felt colorful in the neighborhoods because that time period is very colorful.
Yeah, 2077 is a very colorful time.
Well, I mean, like,
no, I get
what time the Fallout happen? Like,
what time did the war happen?
Yeah, the war.
2077.
Then why are they in a?
Because what happens?
1950s
okay, so this is like a lore thing. The United States shifts all of its funding from cultural development to add it to military and technological development. So all cultural progress,
like starting what time?
1955.
Okay, so yeah, 1950s. Okay, that's the point. Okay, I don't need to know anything else. 1950s. Even though that makes no fucking sense though, because
well, they
still shift
instead of just like staring at the atom bomb and being like, "Oh, we can just make more missiles with this." They start.
There's
like,
going to be cultural change no matter what you do, unless
true.
you're fucking North Korea, I guess. But I don't think they were that.
Well, it's a lore thing for the because I find it hard to believe that everyone in the United States listened to the Ink Spots from 1955.
It's a video game.
It is a video game, yeah.
Whatever. Oh, another thing that was interesting, the two developers that got the award, the Dune 2 guys. And Command and Conquer.
Yeah. Westwood Studios. They
talked about the competition, the RTS genre.
Yeah, and they had Blizzard guys on the video. That was an awesome video.
The competitors back in the day, and I was so happy to see the old Warcraft be in there. But, there was old Warcraft games. I thought it was only World of Warcraft kind of crowd can be educated, but I can sound like those old guys back in my day. But yeah, that was an
awesome.
I'm just remembering stuff that happened.
Their tribute video from last year was also really good with Ken and Roberta Williams, who have mostly been really reclusive since they went into retirement. But they went on stage at the TGAs last year to accept their Lifetime Achievement Award there for King's Quest. So I thought that was really cool. Because they basically invented the adventure game genre.
Yeah.
So that was very cool.
I think that about wraps up the
we had one more thing we wanted to talk about on the show before we sign off for tonight or today.
Although I don't know if I care to talk about this, but
it looks like Project M, the popular Super Smash Bros. Brawl mod, has ceased development. The development team's moving on to bigger and better projects, but they have basically finished Project M. There's not going to be any more updates for it. So, did you ever
go buy Smash 4 already?
Yeah. Did you have a chance to try Project M, Dan?
No.
Well, I assume you know what it is. Basically.
It's a melee.
Yeah.
It's trying to be like melee.
Yeah. So like it adds wave dash.
And I'm like, I don't want to go back to melee.
Yeah.
It's too fast and too heavy.
Yeah.
The character gravity is like times.
What is cool though,
wave dashes.
For some of the characters, they actually made completely new movesets for them.
Yeah.
All new animations and everything. So like Snake, you know how his side special was like he'd fire the Nikita missile and you like got it around. In Project M, you press side B and he fires his tranquilizer pistol. He has 3 shots, and after the third one, you have to reload. And if you hit someone with it, it puts them to sleep. Depending on and the amount of time they stay asleep depends on how far the range was. So stuff like that. And then he has like all new taunts and like I think some of the other characters had like new movesets as well. Very cool stuff.
It's interesting, but
it like the amount of effort that was put in
is I know, from just a technical standpoint, like seeing
That they
new
were able to
characters
mod
in there.
that game like that. That is
New
incredible.
characters in there. It's interesting.
Yeah, they
But-
also got I think there weren't really any new characters, but it was characters they brought back.
Well, there was like skins and stuff.
Oh yeah, all the new skins are really cool. I think Rob had a Virtual Boy skin, and if you actually zoomed into him close enough on the pause screen, you could like look into his eyes and you'd see like Mario's tennis being played on there.
But yeah, it's like I don't want to go back to Melee after
Right.
playing 4. Like 4, I don't want to play any other Smash ever again. Brawl's the worst, no question. Like Melee was
What, you don't like
fantastic
tripping?
when it came out. No, no. But Melee was great back in the day to me. But I mean, I know super competitive people
Yeah.
still don't. They like Melee because it's the guys that
fast-paced
are elite
Yeah.
are going to win 99% of the time. They don't like any leveling of playing field stuff, which I like level playing field stuff to an extent. Not to
I
where
even
it's
like-
like
I even like
not
playing
like
with
Mario
items.
Kart level, but like
I like playing with items sometimes, not all the time, but
sometimes. But
yeah.
even
Helps
I
it
like
helps to
just
shake things up.
I just like Smash 4 so much. Like it's so beautiful. It's so well done. It's just fantastic.
I
The
will say
characters
though,
are
Project
fantastic.
M is still pretty fun. Just the amount of like alternate costumes they've made for that game.
Reggie will come show up at your house.
Oh yeah, but like Mewtwo for example, they added him in with Project M with basically his melee moveset, and he has an alternate costume that is his power like dampening suit from the first Pokemon movie. And then Princess Peach has her Shadow Queen costume from Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and I'm trying to think of some of the other cool costumes they have on there. I want to say there was a Mario costume that looked really cool, but yeah, some awesome stuff with Project M. Sad to see it go, but I guess they were ready to work on bigger and better things. Apparently, it actually started here in Kansas City.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I believe I heard that the Casbah over in Lawrence, Kansas.
Rock the Casbah?
They the Casbah is otherwise known as the Burger Stand out in Lawrence, over on Massachusetts Street.
The Boygus stand?
Is actually one of the top spots in the country for competitive Smash Brothers play.
Huh.
So, apparently, the Project M guys actually played there pretty frequently.
Huh. I'll have to track them down.
Our Kansas City locals, turns out.
Hey, if you would. I wonder what they're gonna do next.
Yeah. Hey,
It's like I can animate
man,
some stuff.
the time is right. The time is right, man. Project Brawl.
No. No more fucking projects. No more of that goddamn shit.
Project Brawl is coming soon, man. Get ready.
No. No.
Well, anyways,
I'd rather-
that just about wraps up our show for tonight, everyone. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel. We got some cool content coming to that, and continue listening to the podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
Stalk us. We like being stalked.
We still have to get a capture device, but I'm still.
We're still looking into that. We're hoping to get one soon so we can get some
just
more
financial
gameplay.
setbacks. So
But
had to get a new power supply.
Oh yeah, you upgraded your computer recently. But yeah, we're hoping to get some awesome content to you guys soon. Apart from the podcast, which is already awesome. But
yeah, best podcast of all time.
oh yeah, absolutely. But no, thanks for listening, everyone. That's our show for this week. So, talk to y'all later.
See ya.